The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your SuperChats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
The New York Jets 2025 Green and White Scrimmage is officially in the books. A lot of key takeaways, some penalty issues, some good, some bad, but nevertheless, a lot to dive into, and we will do just that right here on a Saturday afternoon edition of the Jake Asman Show. Let's go.
Man, AG's first training camp with the New York Jets is underway.
We bleed Jets green each and every day. Will the playoff drought finally end? Kings of the offseason, baby. This is what we do. At least we have Garrett Wilson. We have Breece Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super Chat, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinn Williams. Prepare to be underdogs. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show.
What is going on, New York Jet fans? Hello, everyone, and welcome back here right into another edition of the Jake Asman Show right here on this Saturday afternoon, August 2nd, 2025. Make sure you smash that like button and hit subscribe on your way into the building, completely free, and it helps the channel grow significantly. Questions, comments, thoughts, throw those in the chat. You guys can call into the show with the pinned comment. Appreciate you all joining us right here on the show. It is Connor Long in for Jake Asman, right here with you guys on the Jake Asman Show. Green and White Scrimmage in the books today, folks. Shout out to all of those who were there. I was there. Great to see all you fellow Asmaniacs representing the fan base in Florham Park, New Jersey. Overall, a great day. And then following the practice, there was a legendary ASMANIAC Meetup held at the restaurant of Chef Kevin's, that being the Cloverleaf Tavern, located in Caldwell, New Jersey. And joining us now on his way back from said meetup is the aforementioned Jake Asman. Jake Asman in an Uber, joining us here as I am hosting his show. Jake, is this a first?
This is the first time I've ever been introduced on my own show. But Connor, I appreciate you holding it down. I wanted to make sure that we put out some content on the channel today. So I figured I'd pop in on my way back to my apartment in the city. And then when I can get back home, I'll hop on and complete the show. But you were at the Green and White Scrimmage. I was there as well. So we had to do something. We had to talk about it. And I mean, you nailed it with the open there, Connor. It was sloppy. There were a ton of penalties, which we'll get into. But I'd be remiss if I didn't say this right at the start. I'm rocking the Cloverleaf Tavern sombrero. Shout out to everyone who came out. We had about 60 listeners who came out to the Cloverleaf Tavern after practice today. A bunch of people just were there that weren't even at training camp. We had a listener. Green Gang came all the way from Baltimore. Rick, NY Jets Man Cave, came all the way from Virginia. We had someone come from like Massachusetts and Maine. So people came from all over to be at this meetup before. And it was great. Charles Gorman, of course, stole the show. So big thank you to Chef Kevin and the incredible staff at the Cloverleaf Tavern. We're going to make it an annual thing, it sounds like, because it was so much fun. So big thank you to everyone who was there. We had a couple of raffle prizes, some giveaways. So just want to thank everyone who was there. And obviously, most of us were at the scrimmage this morning, Connor, and that was one of the sloppiest practices I have ever seen from the Jets. It was so bad. Aaron Glenn, at one point, actually took the offense off the field on 3rd and 15 after yet another penalty because he was so fed up, it seems like, with the sloppiness that we saw today. So not a great practice if you were there. If you like officiating, if you like refs, if you like yellow flags being thrown in the air, today was the day for you. My God.
Yeah, no, Jake, it's certainly you certainly expect it, right? Because we talk about the culture change under Aaron Glenn. When it comes to changing fundamental issues that this team has had over the past few years, like penalties, that takes time. And honestly, a lot of people are going to be stressed out over it, rightfully so, given that this team has dealt with so many penalty issues over the past few years. And you're seeing that obviously persist, and that persisted in today's practice in a significant matter. But I think it's great that the referees are out there. I like that they're calling a tight game. It's only going to help this team. That's exactly what this team needs to knock these penalty issues out of the way. You need referees at training camp. You need officials at training camp. You need them to be tight with the whistle. That's the only way this team's going to learn, Jake.
If they're going to make these mistakes, Connor, I agree. You want it to happen now. I think what was frustrating today was at times when they ran the ball, I was really impressed with the rushing offense. Brees, I thought, played well. I thought Isaiah Davis might have been the best offensive player for the Jets just on the field, period. He was out there with all three units making plays as a receiver, having some really strong, hard runs. So that was certainly positive. Braylon Allen being back out there was good to see. He didn't do a ton, but, just him being out there, we know what he could do. But it just felt like every time they had a big play, play would be brought back, or they had some procedural penalties. It was just sloppy all around. And there also were a couple plays, and I was talking about this with Robbie Sabo actually after practice, where it felt like the refs were going out of their way to let the defense play, and they only penalized the offense. There was a clear hold or PI on AZ Thomas against Arian Smith, and they didn't call it. And they were calling way worse on the offense throughout the day. So Robbie and I theorized, did they maybe tell the refs, did Glenn tell the refs, hey, call everything tight on the offense so we could have the teach tape to use, going forward? Because there was, as funny enough, I'm passing the world's biggest air conditioning unit right now, MetLife Stadium. Let's see if people can see it. Not that you want to see it, but it's out there. You see it through the window.
We saw the AC unit.
The frustrating aspect of just like it never ended with the sloppiness. It was like an all-day thing, all three teams too. First team, second team, third team. So there was never really any momentum. Justin Fields, some drops, a little bit of an accurate issue. There was no rhythm. The only time they did anything was when they ran the ball. And then you were like holding your breath if there was going to be a holding penalty called or not. Just a very sloppy practice overall.
Absolutely. You mentioned the rushing attack there, though, and that was certainly a bright spot today. Braylon Allen continues to work his way back from knee soreness, which has left him sidelined for the past few practices. He's gradually working his way back into the offense here. We even saw a guy like Kane Nwangwu flash, who's an all-pro caliber returner, who we saw some of him in the return game last year. He's trying to make a compelling case to earn a spot on the 53-man roster. You honed in, though, on Isaiah Davis, someone who I've spoken about a ton this offseason, someone I think has the potential to play a prominent role in the rushing attack this season. We know that the Jets are taking the running back by committee approach this year, Jake. What do you think Isaiah Davis looks like if he hits his ceiling this season? What is the ideal role for Davis on this team?
I think he's going to play. I don't know if he's going to leapfrog Braylon Allen, but I mean, he needs to be out there in some role, whether it's as a third down back or just even being a guy that they could use. Brees is lined up as a receiver, and the back is Davis. He was impressive today. He ran hard. On a day where there really weren't any offensive standouts besides him, it was glaring. How much better he was. It felt like than a lot of the other players on the field. I will say this: while Fields was not great passing today, and the passing attack overall was not great, Fields did show you why he's the unquestioned starter, because they designed some plays for him as a runner. Like they ran a couple RPOs that were great. Quarterback power worked a couple times. Like when Fields had the ball and he took off and ran, they were effective. And that was obviously something that you get with him that you don't get with Tyrod Taylor. But getting back to your question about Davis, I think depending on what time in the game it is or how the other two backs are playing, I mean, it could be Braylon Allen or Isaiah Davis, whoever has the hot hand, as a compliment to Brees, who I think is clearly going to be the unquestioned featured back. And Glenn even raved about him afterwards today, saying that he thought Brees had a good practice and he's going to have the best year of his career, he essentially said today. So it's going to be fascinating to see how they use these running backs, because we know how often they want to run the ball. And at times today you saw why, and hopefully they don't commit as many holding penalties, because that's going to derail these drives if that happens in the regular season.
You mentioned there not being a ton of offensive standouts today. I agree with that. But someone who did catch my eye in the pass catching attack on multiple occasions today was free agent addition Stone Smart. And you want to see a guy like Stone Smart stick out and thrive in these opportunities, in these padded practices, given the fact that beyond Mason Taylor, who's looked very, very nice throughout training camp this summer, the Jets have no established talent at the tight end position. Heck, Mason Taylor isn't even established coming in as a rookie. He's going to be the clear-cut starter, though, Jake. The tight end 2 job, tight end 3 job, that's all up for grabs. It was great to see Stone Smart today hold on to the ball, dive into the end zone multiple times. He had multiple touchdowns. the Jets need a tight end. The Jets need a receiver. They need someone to step up in this passing attack. And today, Stone Smart showed you why he could potentially be that guy for Gang Green.
He made some plays. That was good to see. Strong hands on one of the touchdown grabs that he had. Look, the tight end situation outside of Mason Taylor, it is definitely up for grabs. I mean, Ruckert, I thought, had a really good block on one of the Fields touchdown runs in the red zone. But that's kind of all Jeremy Ruckert is at this point. Like, he has not shown you anything. The legitimate pass catcher, legitimate playmaker there. So there's a path for a guy like Stone Smart to get on the field and make plays. And I thought today was a good step for him. Now, a lot of his stuff happened, it felt like, with the second team and the third team. So it's not like he's out there with the first team, Connor. But I thought he went out there and made some impressive catches, especially the one in the red zone. I think it was Tyrod who threw it to him, kind of cross body, and he came down with it. It was a nice grab. So that is certainly a positive on a day where there wasn't a whole lot to really be that excited about from an offensive standpoint.
Ton of injuries today in Florham Park, Jake. A bunch of players went down today. Obviously, entering today, there were some injuries we were already made aware of, between Quinnen Williams dealing with a calf injury. Obviously, Jermaine Johnson and Irv Charles remain on the PUP list. But, a handful of injuries, like I mentioned today. Chris Boyd went down with a shoulder injury. He was in visible pain. He needed to get carted off. Xavier Gibson dealt with a shoulder injury as well. Jalen Simpson, the safety, also dealt with a hamstring injury. Josh Reynolds limped off the field. So the injuries begin to pile up, in Florham Park. We saw a handful occur today. You look at those guys, all of them play a different role on this team. Chris Boyd obviously competing to be the starting gunner on this team. Xavier Gibson fighting for a roster spot in the receiver room. Josh Reynolds currently viewed right now as the consensus wide receiver too. With those guys going down, are you looking for anyone to step up, particularly in the wide receiver room, who's battling for a roster spot, maybe other than Malachi Corley over these next few practices?
Yeah, I mean, Arian Smith, now's your opportunity, right? Hey, Malachi Corley, now's your opportunity. I mean, we don't know the severity of Reynolds' injury, right? We just know he limped off. So I don't know if he's going to miss any sort of time, but they're thin at receiver. Like, some days you wonder when they're struggling to pass the ball, how much of it is because the Jet defense is really good? How much of it is because Justin Fields and this offense is learning a brand new system? Or how much of it is, hey, they don't have a great passing quarterback, that we know. And outside of Garrett Wilson, who a lot of times is going up against Sauce Gardner and is not going to win every time one-on-one, who else could really separate and get open? So like that's what I was watching today. And it was so tough to really evaluate anything because every time something happened, there was a flag that was flying on the field. But I mean, the wide receiver situation's wide open. Clearly, they're going to throw to the running backs a lot. Clearly, the tight end is going to be involved. But I mean, there's an opportunity for someone to step up. I just don't know if they have anyone that could do it. Like I'd be calling Gabe Davis or someone right now just to get another body in that room.
Absolutely. I mean, my thought goes to a guy like Quentin Skinner, who is a high-caliber UDFA signing, averaged over 20 yards of reception last year at Kansas. 6'4", big contested catch body, but the Jets obviously still looking for that guy to, vie for a role behind Josh Reynolds and Garrett Wilson in this wide receiver room to step up, make an impact. Defensively today, Jake, the pass rush was on fire. We saw Will McDonald disrupt things in the backfield multiple times today. We saw Michael Clemens get his hands dirty in the backfield today as well, along with Quincy Williams, Jake, who, when he was let free today and he got behind the line of scrimmage and hit Justin Fields, I think all of us gasped. According, even Aaron Glenn, who had to pull Quincy aside following that play, talk to him a little, how you can't do that in training camp. I want to focus on Michael Clemens, though, obviously, very polarizing player among this fan base. The Jet coaching staff seems to really like him. How does he slot in on this team this year, especially with Jermaine Johnson out? Could you see him playing prominent reps to open the season with Jermaine Johnson kind of easing his way back from this Achilles injury?
He's out there with the ones. I mean, he's going to get an opportunity. Now, hopefully Jermaine starts to get ramped up and ready to practice within the next week or so. I think that's probably going to be the expectation. But, I mean, there's going to be a real path for Clemens to play. We know Glenn has praised him. Steve Wilkes said he's having a really good camp. We maybe don't want to hear that as Jet fans, but as Jet fans, we're all rooting for them to take Michael Clemens' game and actually turn him into something. And then I think that would show us a lot. But, he played well today. You mentioned McDonald, Connor. I thought he was really good. And Quincy, I thought, might have been their best defensive player today. He was everywhere. I mean, the one play you're talking about where he came in off a blitz, and he came so close to decapitating Justin Fields. For Jet fans who weren't there, think of the play last season when Kyler Murray got rocked at Quincy in that game against the Cardinals in Arizona. That would have happened to Fields today if it was a live ball, a live play. but you can't touch the quarterback in practice. And he still kind of collide with him a little bit. And Glenn, I thought he was going to kill him. He immediately went up to him and told him to basically calm down. But you know Quincy's good. He's been flying around. I've been hearing from people that have been at all the practices so far. So I think last year you had a lot of negative regression for the Jets defensive players. Like their best players, Sauce had a down year for his standards. Quincy, these guys were first team all pros in 2022, 2023. I'm expecting to get a much closer version to that from all three of those guys, but I think Quincy's due for a monster year. He's going into a contract year, and I think he wants to get paid again. And the way he played today and the way he's played throughout the summer, I think he's going to be perfect in this system. He's going to have a big season.
With the secondary, Jake, Brandon Stevens is someone who's continuously caught my eye every single training camp practice I've been in attendance for. We saw him have a nice pass breakup today. Obviously, he's kind of still battling it out with third-round pick Azareye'h Thomas, who the Jets clearly feel very confident in, given the fact that they selected him very high in the third round after giving Stevens $36 million in free agency. How do they kind of, mix and match when it comes to roles this season and playing time? Stevens, obviously the Jets loved him enough to give him $36 million this offseason. And then Azareye'h Thomas, a very, very high third-round pick. What does that positional battle look like as we approach the preseason and obviously the regular season starting in about a month from now?
I think Stevens has clearly proven why the Jets paid him so far. Like as far as him being the starter, I mean, we were having conversations. Oh, could AZ Thomas push Brandon Stevens into the starting lineup? But the way Stevens has come in and the way that he has played, that's not happening anytime soon. I'm saying AZ won't eventually be a good player and won't eventually be a starter on this team. But I've been impressed. Stevens today was really good, and he was good in coverage against Garrett Wilson too. Garrett Wilson was very quiet today, and some of it was they just never had any flow on offense. But Brandon Stevens did a good job in coverage today. I mean, he was my first time at camp, and I was very impressed, Connor. I know you've seen him a few times. I mean, he continues to make plays, which I think is a really good sign.
Appreciate you all tuning in. Smash the like button, hit subscribe. Connor Long, Jake Asman, right here with you guys on a Saturday edition of the Jake Asman Show, recapping, obviously, the Jets' Green and White Scrimmage, which took place today in Florham Park, and obviously the ASMANIAC Meetup, which followed that. Questions, comments, thoughts, throw those in the chat. Call into the show with the pinned comment. Super chats come up here.
Hey, get some memberships. Some memberships for Connor Long. It goes to the Connor Long Allowance Fund so he can continue to cut school and cover the Jets on his YouTube channel.
There we go. Screw school. Absolutely. Appreciate you all. Give memberships. Sending your super chats. Appreciate your support. As always, speaking of the meetup today, Chicken Jenkins, Jake wants to know, hey, Jake / Connor, are we going to see Gorman highlights from lunch today?
Well, let me tell you, Connor, Charles Gorman gave quite the speech at one point during this meetup. So without spoiling it, folks, Gorman was, as usual, the star of an ASMANIAC event. He tried the chicken soup that was named after his mother on the menu. He gave a speech to everyone in attendance. We have the video of Nick Shine announcing Charles Gorman's dramatic entrance into the back room where the party was. So for anyone who had FOMO and is not on my Discord, which shame on you, join the Patreon and get in the Discord if you want to see some of the photos and videos. We have quite the montage of content coming from this meetup today. It was awesome. And Gorman was a huge star. You will be getting Chicken Jenkins, plenty of Gorman highlights from this meetup. Don't worry.
Unfortunately, I was not in attendance, so being an ASMANIAC myself, I am certainly looking forward to seeing said highlights. Obviously we had to pay for an Uber last time. I believe Charles Gorman attended a restaurant an event held at a restaurant, so certainly intrigued to see today's highlights as well. Barney Miller drops in with a $5 super chat. Appreciate it, Barney. Says penalties under Salah, Brick, and now AG. No one left to blame but the players. Jake, this takes time. Obviously, you talk about Aaron Glenn coming in here and establishing a culture. Like I mentioned at the top of the show, fixing a fundamental issue like penalties, being undisciplined, that takes time. That doesn't happen overnight. I think the easiest way it's going to get fixed is having these officials at training camp like Aaron Glenn is doing and, instilling this in them and playing with a tight whistle.
I agree. I think, look, Barney, once again, you want this to happen now, then on September 7th and beyond. I seriously do wonder, though, and Robbie Sabo brought this up for those just tuning in, and I thought it was a good theory just talking with him after practice. It's almost like Glenn instructed the refs, hey, call it tighter on the offense than you would the defense. Because they let the defense get away with a lot more than they did on the offensive side of the ball. And like, it was obvious to anyone that was there watching it. That said, it can't happen in the regular season, so this has got to be a wake-up call, and hopefully they clean it up. But a day after the offense looked great and Fields played really well, reportedly on Friday, today they just never got really going in rhythm, and so much of it was because of the penalty. So it has to be cleaned up because it felt like I was in like a time machine and back in 2024 today or 2023. Watch this Jet operation out there.
Absolutely. Slip Kid drops in with $10. Appreciate you, Slip Kid. Appreciate the sports. Is Jake on 1JD, baby. Jake, wasn't this your first training camp practice of the year?
Does Slip mean that I made like an episode of One Jets Drive, or that I was at One Jets Drive like physically today? This was my first training camp practice. By the way, Slip Kid, I'm going to make sure I enter you in the raffle on Monday for 2. And I should say this might be the last show that we do until the raffle on Monday, Connor. So tell everyone, you pull up the Raffle 34 PDF that's in the StreamYard folder there, and you can show people the Namath jersey, the Nick Mangold jersey, and the DeBrickashaw Ferguson football that we're going to be raffling away. But Slip Kid, you're in for 2. So clarify what specifically you mean by One Jets Drive. Was I in the YouTube docuseries the Jets do? Or do you mean I was physically at the Jet facility? Because the answer to at least one of those is yes.
There we go. Love to see it. Obviously, you got so many great raffle prizes coming. We're going to pull those up shortly right here on the show. Appreciate the $10 super chat. Slip Kid, appreciate the support as always right here on the show. Barney Miller says, Connor missed my first super chat as I was answering it. Grounded. And then he follows it up. Good. I get a sigh of relief here, Jake. Oh, he got it. Allowance reinstalled. So there we go. Appreciate it, Barney. Thank you for reinstalling my allowance right here on the Jake Asman show. Appreciate the support as always. Our favorite Allen drops into the chat, says Isaiah Davis over Braylon Allen. Kid is number 1 potential. I think Braylon Allen's going to get the majority of the touches here compared to Isaiah Davis, just because he brings a different element to this rushing attack than Isaiah Davis. He brings the power paired with Fields' agility, the north-south ability that I think is going to look really, really nice on this team. So I think Isaiah Davis is a very solid player, but I think the fact that Braylon Allen just brings this different, power, north-south type element is going to earn him the majority of his touches right here.
I think Braylon Allen is still the leader to be RB2. That said, if we were just basing it off today and today only, then sure, it's Isaiah Davis. But I think overall, Allen's at a better camp talking to people around the team today.
Absolutely. Agree with what you're saying there. I just think Braylon Allen paired with Justin Fields, especially on short down situations, is such a dangerous sight for opposing defense. You have to worry about Fields' speed, obviously paired with Braylon's power. Braylon's really stuck out throughout training camp as well, so expect big things out of Braylon Allen this season. Cactus Johnny says, how did Arian Smith do? He continues to catch my eye, Jake, making big plays, taking the top off the defense. I'm pleased with what I've seen from Arian Smith. Chris Banjo spoke very highly of him and the impact he's been able to make on special teams. He's someone in a wide open wide receiver room who can make a significant impact on this team.
He went out there and didn't have any noticeable drops from what I saw. I actually think he was a better route runner watching him in person than I was expecting, just based on what the reputation he had was. Sauce had really good coverage on him on one play. I think the Jets actually even posted it. It might have been, it might have been Reynolds. I got 82 and 83 confused when you're watching the practice in real time. But I don't think that he was spectacular today. I don't think really anyone on the offense was, besides probably Davis, who we spoke about. But Arian Smith's had a nice camp so far, and I'm definitely encouraged in what we're hearing and what we have seen so far. Preseason is going to be big for him, because if he's going to have this team in the regular season, like early on in the regular season, he's going to have to show them something in these preseason games to earn that opportunity.
Undoubtedly so. Slip Kid says a voice on the latest 1JD. So you did a voiceover on One Jets Drive, Jake. There we go. I'm assuming this is the celebrity that you are. This is not a first time occasion here.
They've used me a couple times on that, and they do such a good job with the One Jets Drive and the docuseries they did on the Jets players, the origins that they put out on a bunch of the Jets recently. So yeah, I mean, look, the Jets haven't won enough games in the field, but they usually win with their production team. They're very good at putting out features on the team, the coaches. So hey, I'm gonna have to check it out, Slip Kid. Thanks for the heads up.
There we go. John, totally forgot Kuntz is still on the team. He's big. We saw him today on the field. He's big, but we didn't see many big plays out of Zach Kuntz.
He had one nice catch today that he kind of he ran through a defender. I remember and picked up a first down. Like it was a physical
I
play.
remember that. Yep, in the
I don't think
red
he's gonna
zone.
make. Yeah, I don't think he's gonna make the team. I think he's a practice squad guy again. But I mean, he's out there. Like he's still around.
Absolutely. And again, when a tight end room is this wide open, he can make a case to make the roster. He just has to turn it on, stack these days. You mentioned the nice play we saw. I vividly remember that now, obviously, in the red zone, bowling through a defender. So Zach Kuntz has the size. I think he's 6'8". Another high RAS score, so a Joe Douglas favorite there. Hasn't ultimately panned out throughout his career. I view him as a practice squad special teams type guy. I don't think he has much of an offensive role at the NFL level. Jets Nation NYC, one of the Fields haters, comes in and says, we made a big mistake signing Justin Fields. Jake, it's training camp. He's adapting to a new offensive scheme. I think the fan base needs to take it a little easy on Justin Fields.
Well, I would just ask Jet Nation, who, by the way, is Frankie D's cousin, I recently learned. So if you wonder why Jet
Oh,
Nation has
wait,
the takes he does, runs in the family. But as far as the big mistake signing Fields, I mean, who did you want them to sign to play quarterback? Jet Nation. That would be finally out of the Lincoln Tunnel here. Who would you want them to? Who would you want them to sign? That would be my pushback. Like what was the alternative? To me, they signed the guy who was 26, that was 8-4 in his last 12 starts. His potential is an elite trait you can't coach, which is his ability to run, and the offense can do so much more with him out there versus Tyrod. Because Tyrod is able to move like Fields, and there's durability concerns. So, is he a better passer? Sure, but what can they do from an offensive standpoint? The running game is going to be better with Fields' presence. Like we're seeing holes open up for the Jets because they have to account for Fields' ability to run. I think it was the best of what was out there. If he's not the guy, I don't know if it's a big mistake, Jet Nation. I think they draft a quarterback in the first round next year, and Fields is probably the bridge, or they move him, whatever. Like it's a 1 year tryout for a guy that has an upside. I don't think anyone else they could have brought in any chance of being the long-term starter, which is why they rolled the dice with Fields for a year.
Completely agree with everything you said there. He has the upside. He adds a new element to this team. He adds a new element that opposing defenses have to worry about. He's never, in my opinion, gotten a fair opportunity where a team has been able to cater to his skill set, give him a fair offensive line, give him a fair amount of pass catchers, pair him with a strong rushing attack, give him autonomy over the offense. I think the Jets are doing this. So this is Justin Fields' last opportunity, in my opinion, to show that he is a starting caliber NFL quarterback, and he has to show it right now in New York. So obviously, 2-year, $40 million contract this offseason that the Jets can easily get out of after this season. If I had to make a prediction as to who the Jets starting quarterback is week 1 of 2026, I think it's Justin Fields. I think he proves a lot of haters wrong this season. I have the Jets winning 8 games under Fields this year. Maybe they draft someone. I don't see them drafting a quarterback very high in the first round. I think Justin Fields is able to win over this coaching staff in some degree where he is the starting quarterback for this team next season. So like you said, Jake, who else are you adding? Are you adding, Marcus Mariota, Carson Wentz, who's fundamentally broken at this point in his career? Are you adding Gardner Minshew? The Jets did a great job of locating someone who obviously has all this upside and all this potential to be a big play guy in New York. So certainly I disagree with this comment here from Jets Nation. And if it stems from training camp, again, he is in a new system. He is learning a new scheme, and the training camp practices. Obviously, we still have a long way to go, and the preseason games are upon us shortly here.
He
Alan,
made plays today too, for what it's worth, Connor. You
Yep.
saw it, like some of the biggest plays today were him on design runs taking off, or just pocket broke down and he made plays with his legs. Like there was a play in the red zone, their first score today, where he just basically just manhandled the defense because he just took off and found space, and the rest was history. Like you see what they're trying to do. We saw a lot of RPOs today that were creative. By the way, one thing we should note, I'll say, I wasn't there today as media. I went there as a fan, so I'm allowed to say it. The Jets, I thought, did something really smart. So John Simpson's out 1 to 2 weeks. So you know who the starting left guard was today, fan base? It was Joe Tippmann. So Tippmann moved over and played left guard. Myers played center. So if the Jets want to put their best, I've talked about this on the show before. If there's an injury to Simpson or AVT, they could move either Myers or Tippmann to guard. And we saw the Jets put Tippmann at guard today with the ones. Myers was the starting center. So I thought that was interesting, with Simpson obviously dealing with an injury for 1 to 2 weeks that he's going to be sidelined.
Absolutely, and I think that's the addition. That's the bonus of adding a guy like Josh Myers, and obviously Joe Tippmann brings that guard versatility. I don't think Josh Myers, I don't think is anywhere near the caliber player of Joe Timmon is. I think he's one of the best 32 centers, one of the top 32 centers in the National Football League. So to add a high-end backup on a cheap dollar, someone who has starting experience in Josh Myers, I think obviously adds so much depth to an offensive line that we've seen, Jake. Injuries can completely deplete a line, so you need to have strong backup options, and I think Josh Myers brings just that to this team. Allen, Josh Reynolds, and Tyler Johnson are wide receiver 2 and wide receiver 3 on CFL teams. Bold comment here from Allen. And you know what else is new with Allen being pessimistic about this team here?
Do you know how to throw someone in the hole, Connor? Have I shown you how to do that?
I do know how to. Is it time to pull the plug? I will take my cues off of you.
Yeah, 100%. No one needs to see Allen's comments and ruin our Saturdays.
So Allen to the hole is what you're asking here, Jake.
Yep, go under the Shadow Realm tab. It's one of the folders, and then scroll down, and you'll see.
Allen, this call is what I'd like to say. It's coming from corporate. That's the way I'd say it. But we will see you later, folks.
At the beach laughing my ass off. All I have to say is lose out. Clean fucking house and draft Joe Alt. Merry Christmas to all the solid truthers.
Came from corporate, Jake.
Needed to be done, Connor. Well done.
Appreciate it. Questions, comments, thoughts, keep them coming in the chat. Super chats, memberships, get those in. Memberships, obviously, get your raffle entries. Appreciate all your support as always. Right here on the show, Willie cuts along with his $2 super chats. Is Allen 1 year, $10 million deal, best wide receiver 2 option out there.
Keenan Allen, he's talking about.
Yep. Yeah, Keenan Allen. He still remains on the open market. Training camp underway. Same goes for Amari Cooper. Both those guys right there. I've been talking about Keenan Allen for some time now. He's 33 years old, however. I don't think this team's adding another wide receiver as it stands.
I think Gabe Davis would make sense because at least he's younger. I just think they need another body in that room. Like it was, you lose Reynolds today, and then you're just looking at Garrett Wilson, and then what? Like there's no one that can win one-on-one. And I'm not saying Gabe Davis is great or Amari Cooper still has a ton left. I don't know, but I would take a chance on a 1 year deal with any of these guys out there. I don't think Keenan Allen's going to come here. He's going to probably sign with the Chargers, it sounds like. But like to me, they're a wide receiver short, and I don't know if I'm going to be feeling differently after these preseason games here. Like I hope I do. I'm not anticipating that.
AJ, should we extend Quincy before the season starts? Jake, you got anything here? Quincy Williams entering the final year of his current deal.
Yeah, I guess it depends on what the cost would be to do it or how many years Quincy wants. But if you can get something done and they want to make that commitment, I'd be open to it because I think Quincy's going to have a huge year and it's only going to cost them more or they might lose him. You know, if you can tack on maybe he's under contract for this year and he's a free agent afterwards. If you can get him to agree to a 1 year extension right now, give him a pay raise for this year and then guarantee him next year, I think I would look to do that. I don't know if he wants that or he's looking for a multi-year deal. But I would at least entertain a conversation with him because I think that he's really good, and I've seen enough and I've heard enough about him this summer to feel like he's going to be in for a big-time all-pro level season once again.
Like you said, it all depends on the price. It all depends on the longevity of this deal. He's obviously someone who's turning 29 years old in less than a month. And as we've seen, Jake, with the linebacker position, once these guys start to creep up around 30 years old, a lot of different changes. Their speed starts to descend. Same with their playmaking ability. Depends on the longevity of the deal and overall the price, Jake, because keep in mind, the Jets just dished out $30 million guaranteed to Jamie and Sherwood over the next 3 years. How much money do the Jets want to have tied up on ball linebackers over the next 3 or so seasons is also a significant question here.
Well said. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they go about, the investments they made, and not even just like the defensive side of the ball with Sherwood now compared to Quincy. You flip it over to offense, both their starting guards are going to be free agents at the end of the year. AVT is going to cost more than John Simpson, but they talked about AVT in regards to an extension. Glenn has more than anything we've heard about Simpson, plus AVT's homegrown. We know Glenn has talked about, hey, we want to keep guys that we draft and develop here as Jets. So that's the AVT John Simpson debate, I think, is going to be one we're debating a lot in season and potentially before free agency as well.
Also, I will add here, only 2 teams in the NFL currently pay 2 guards over $10 million a year, those 2 teams being the Bears and the Chiefs. So it's rare to see you see an NFL team tie up significant money in 2 guards. So obviously a situation to monitor as both those guys enter the final year of their current contracts. Barney Miller, How did UFL champ Adrian Martinez do? Jake, you got anything on Martinez?
I think he was better than Brady Cook from what I saw, but I don't really think any of the third team players or quarterbacks did anything. Like Adrian Martinez, a couple plays, I guess he was better than Cook. I got to be honest, I was just so frustrated with the amount of penalties. Like I kind of just like stopped like locking into every play when we got to like the Brady Cook reps at the end of practice. I was just like, all right, what are we doing here? Like I can't take this anymore.
Practice squad QB3 for those guys. I mean, I don't see the Jets carrying 3 quarterbacks on the active roster. I just think with every spot so valuable, you roll with Fields and Tyrod. Then, Jake, if you go through Fields and Tyrod by, mid-season, you know the season's over anyways. I think you stash one of these guys on the practice squad. This is exactly what the Jets did with Adrian Martinez last year. For those who remember, I'm personally a big Brady Cook fan. I think he brings more versatility in the rushing. I think he brings more versatility, being a runner, someone who's established himself in the ground game before. I think he has a higher ceiling in the league. Adrian Martinez is someone I view who could be a high-end backup throughout his career as well. He kind of reminds me of Gardner Minshew. In that sense, it's going to be interesting as we monitor that position. Obviously, these preseason games are going to play such a significant impact on who the Jets decide to carry as that either third quarterback or a practice squad player in either Adrian Martinez or Brady Cook. Colin says, I yearn for the Jets using a fullback again and having a true fullback on the roster. Jake, he's talking about Andrew Beck, and Andrew Beck didn't see too much out of him today. Saw him go in motion a couple times. Saw him line up as a receiver. Didn't see any big plays out of him, though. He's someone who could make, a run potentially on this team as a lineup as one of the tight ends this year. Someone who, obviously, when you have not much established talent at the tight end position, someone who has proven who he is as a route runner, someone who's been in this league for multiple years as a guy like Andrew Beck obviously has an advantage.
Well said. Andrew Beck, I think he's actually going to make this team because I do think they're going to carry a fullback, and Beck does have tight end experience too. So I think they'll keep him on for some versatility there. But to me, if you told me he didn't make the team, I'm not going to be shocked. Like I feel like it's going to depend on are they keeping Naganaru or whatever the Kene Nagaru to
Kaneno Wangwu, yeah.
However you say his name, you definitely pronounced it better than I could, Connor. Are they keeping him as the 4th running back? And does that mean they don't have room for what technically would be like a 4th tight end / fullback? Like, I feel like it could be a numbers game in regards to how they value certain guys on special teams. That said, give me 3 minutes, Connor, and I'm actually going to be able to do the normal show with you as I'll be able to hop on my computer and won't have to try and do StreamYard through my phone, which is a major pain in the ass here. But you're doing great, and I'll be back with you in like 3 minutes if that works.
Appreciate it. He's Jake Asman. Joined us live on an Uber ride back from the Cloverleaf Tavern. Now as he enters his ostentatious apartment, I'm assuming he will be joining us shortly. Again, right here on the show. Questions, comments, thoughts in the chat. Call into the show with the pinned comments. See you guys loading up your calls. We'll go over to the phone line shortly. Super chats, cut the line. Memberships, they get you raffle entries. Appreciate your support as always. Right here on the Jake Asman Show. Connor Long in for Jake Asman. Appreciate your support as always. Right here on this Saturday afternoon. Let's see. Ricky, New York live, baby. Ricky, what's going on? Says Connor, if we had a wide receiver, it'll be a guy who shakes loose when teams cut down to 53, someone nobody's talking about right now. That's the way I look at it. I think the same way for the punter position as well. Austin McNamara remains the lone punter on this team. He had some nice punts today, overall inconsistent, and that's what Chris Banjo honestly told reporters the other day. So biggest thing also on special teams, finding consistency. Same goes for the interior defensive tackle position. I think we can see a lot of guys who shake loose from cutdown day potentially be on this team's roster this season. So obviously monitor cutdown day as well as the preseason continues to progress. Brian says, how's everybody feeling about the secondary? Secondary looked nice. I praised Brandon Stevens and Sauce Gardner for their performances today, obviously. Malachi Moore is someone who looked really, really nice before he suffered an oblique injury. Azarie Thomas, a few nice plays flashing. The secondary overall is piecing together very nicely, and this is one of the most established units on the team, so you'd hope they get off to training camp with a strong start and make an impact right out of the gate. So certainly keep an eye on the secondary as the practices continue to ramp up and preseason ultimately approaches and is right around the corner. So secondary ultimately pleased with what I've seen there. B-Show says, serious question. Stigger's making the team? If not, I hope my Dolphins get him or someone like him. Look, after the injury today, B-Show, to Chris Boyd, that opens a real opportunity that I don't think a lot of people are talking about. Stiggers can sneak his way onto the team as potentially a gunner. When you look at Irv Charles, someone who's slowly but steadily coming back from an ACL injury. Chris Boyd, a free agent addition, suffered a shoulder injury today that prompted him to be carted off the field. Stiggers can make a real push at this team, made some nice plays defensively, was stingy in coverage. Another player I'll shout out is Ryan Cooper, who the Jets added last week after cutting Kai Kroger. He laid a big hit for the second day in a row at practice. So Quantez Stiggers, now this Chris Boyd injury, opens a significant opportunity for the second-year corner to step in, establish a role on this team, and most importantly, earn a spot on the 53-man roster. So that's what I have on Quantez Stiggers. Appreciate you joining us right here on the Jake Asman Show. Smash the like button, hit subscribe. Connor Long in for Jake right here on this Saturday afternoon. You can find me, read my work, jetsxfactor.com. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, NY Flight Jets Talk. We're chasing 2,000 subs. We're just 100 away, so head over to NY Flight Jets Talk after this show is done. Make sure you hit me with a sub. Appreciate all of your support as always right here on the show. A lot to get into. Obviously, we're breaking down the Green and White Scrimmage for the New York Jets that took place today in Florham Park, New Jersey. Jake joining us shortly right here on the show from his apartment after he was with us in the car for a little bit. So Jake obviously joining us shortly right here on the show. Jets Nation. Connor, question for you. What would you have to see from Fields where you'd want to move on to another QB? Is Fields allowed to have a god-awful quarterback and training camp, and still start? That's the way that it seems. And I disagree with that. I think it should be a quarterback competition personally. I want to see Fields' upside, but I think it's a little interesting that Aaron Glenn has dismissed the idea of any possible quarterback competition. And truly, since the day the Jets signed him, he's just gone into the year. Fields is the guy. Fields is our guy no matter what. He's praised Tyrod for his ability to step in as a backup, but the Jets have had no question about who they want to be the starting quarterback, whether you like it or not. I think Fields is going to start for this team, obviously, this season and be there. What I'd have to see from him, I'd want to see him at least for 6 weeks before I'd make any decision, and the accuracy would have to be terrible. He'd have to be fumbling the ball, taking too many sacks. I don't even want to get to that, though, Jets Nation, because I think Justin Fields, I'm someone who's a fan of Justin Fields, who I think can thrive and develop in a team that caters to his skill set. So hopefully we do not have to ever cross that bridge, and we don't have to worry about that. But appreciate the comment as always. Joe comes in. Joe says Tyler Boyd could be an interesting low-cost signing. I think he's still on the open market. I don't know if he signed somewhere. I think he's still out there. I thought I saw him sign anywhere, but yeah, no, he's still out there. He can be an interesting one, but like I said, he's still getting up there in age. The Jets, I don't think, are adding anyone. I think if they add any player at any position at this rate, it's coming from cut down day. It's coming from a guy who another team moves on from, who sticks out in the preseason. I don't see them adding any big name free agency. And not like Tyler Boyd's a blockbuster move or a big name, someone who's been in this league for multiple years and is a known name on the free agent market. That's the way that I view it. Brian says, is Irv the only player expected to start the season on the PUP/IR? At this point, yeah. I mean, after what I saw from Chris Boyd today with that shoulder injury, he can maybe join him on that list, unfortunately, as well. I think Jermaine will be ready for week 1, but the Jets are clearly going to take their time with him, ease him back into this team, ease him back into the system, and not rush him right out of the gate. So if I had to make a prediction today, yes, I think Irv Charles, barring any future changes, will start will be the only player who starts the season on the PUP list. John, any thoughts on Michael Carter? This training camp seems like he continues to be an incredibly underrated player on this defense, which is funny too, because he signed a 3-year, $71 million contract last offseason. Obviously dealt with a ton of injury last year, was riddled with injury, and now he's ultimately at training camp. Haven't seen him make too many huge plays. I did see him working with Azareye'h Thomas after practice, extending out some time for him, which was always nice to see. But ultimately, with Michael Carter, haven't seen any big plays, haven't seen any significant flashy plays from Carter yet. Just a lot of work with Azareye'h Thomas, and continues to lock down the slot. He's a player that you want to kind of be quiet if he's not getting interceptions. You don't want to see him making the headlines, because if you're a slot corner making headlines in training camp for non-interceptions or pass breakups, it's typically for the wrong reason or penalties. So overall, pleased, yes, with what I've seen out of Azareye'h Thomas. Thank you all for tuning in right here on the Jake Asman Show. Smash the like button, hit subscribe. Connor Long in for Jake. Questions, comments, thoughts in the chat. Call into the show with the pinned comment. Super chats, cut the line. Memberships, get your raffle entries. Appreciate all of your support. As always, right here on the show, we'll open up to the phone lines. First up, joining us right here on the show is none other than the Beast.
You know what time it is? A beast breaker, 666. I'm gonna take my fist and shove it up your ass, and then he gotta go.
Beast!
¿Qué pasa there, Connor? ¿Cómo está, amigo?
Beast, you there? And
Wake up, Beast. Get off your ass. What are we doing here?
As Jake Asman joins us right here on the show, right from the apartment.
Construction. Yeah, I'm putting the Jordan thing together. And you know what tape we're using? We're using good stuff. Some good stuff tape, my friends.
What are you doing?
And Beast, is this in the global studio headquarters?
This is. And where we're today. Donkey Kong. Man's work.
Love it.
Yeah, and don't ask. Got myself one of these yesterday. Back to the Future.
Is that a Quidditch stick?
No, this is a Back to the Future poster from '85.
Excuse me.
$8. I don't watch that. Let me tell you this. I'm the Back to the Future guy when it comes to Marty McFly and Doc Hamilton Brown. And I know you're young, Connor. You've never seen Back to the Future, but it is really good. I'd highly recommend checking it out. And our boys are going to be great, because come the 9th, the first game, this is going to be Green Bay right here. Bam!
Hey, Beast, I had a gabagool slider today.
Yes, I heard. I saw. I know.
What do you mean you heard? How did you see?
Up here.
What do you mean up here?
Use your head.
Up in the attic?
No. Use your head.
No?
Use the phone. Use it wisely. Think twice. Think twice before you speak. Always remember, if the left don't get you, the right one will. Always remember that. Keep your head up.
Well said, Beast. What did I miss when I was gone, Connor?
Not
Anything
much,
happened?
Jake. We were indulging into some chat questions. John asked about Michael Carter's camp. I said it's great to see that he's not making headlines unless it's for, interceptions, because typically that's penalties. Overall, steady performance from Michael Carter. Joe Mike asked about Tyler Boyd being an intriguing signing. My reply was, I don't see the Jets adding anyone unless it's cut down day and someone unexpectedly shakes loose. I don't see them adding any known free agent at this juncture.
Hey, the Human Fund, I think, is the first person to get the membership today. Do I have that right?
You do have that right, Jake. A bunch of stats, but first membership of the day.
I love it. Well, Human Fund, you're in the raffle for one. The raffle's going to be Monday, folks. I don't know if Connor showed this when I was gone, but we got the signed Namath jersey. We have the signed Nick Mangold jersey and the signed DeBrickashaw Ferguson jersey. Also, we did a raffle at the Chef Kevin meetup. Congratulations to NY Jet Man Cave. That's Rick. He won a signed Wayne Corbett photo. And Jets Johnny, or Johnny Boy, excuse me, I believe won. Or let's see. Yeah, NY Jets Man Cave won the Wayne Corbett photo.
Okay.
Lee Vaughn, the great Lee Van, he won a signed Anthony Beck jersey. And Jets Johnny won an AsManiac flag. So we had some giveaways at this event. Plus, I think everyone that went to the event, Connor, because of Chef Kevin's greatness, came away with the following prizes I now could show off that I'm home. 1 sec. Let's
see this as Jake leaves the studio there, talking about the AsManiac Meetup, the great AsManiac Meetup, obviously. The aforementioned prize pool that was dished out to every single AsManiac who attended this great event. Jake, what do we have here?
Everyone that was in attendance today received a Jets beer bucket that they could take home with them.
Yes.
Everyone in attendance today received multiple Jets koozies.
There we go.
And everyone who was there got AsManiac magnets, Jake Asman Show magnets, stickers, and a kiss on the cheek from Charles Gorman. About as good as it gets.
Did that really occur, Jake? Are we fan of that?
Which aspect?
The Charles Gorman kiss on the cheek. I need to, you never know. I always have to ask Jake because he's Charles, as the rap once said. You never know what could occur. So
also some beer glasses. So shout out to Chef Kevin and the Cloverleaf. They took good care of the AsManiacs who were there today. It was a lot of fun.
You are right, though. You never know what could happen on an ASMANIAC Meetup, Connor. So I am glad that you asked.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to reviewing the film. We don't have Fialco to do it with us, but we will find a way to analyze the film.
All right, let's do this. Some other thoughts that we haven't talked about from the practice. Plus, for anyone who's just joining us, I am now officially back and able to do the normal show here. So load up your calls, and we will be able to take them accordingly. The phantom kicks, that was something I thought was bizarre. So the Jets multiple times today did not actually run a field goal, a PAT attempt, or a punt. They were phantom punts, kicks, and PATs. I've never seen that before. It was just odd. They'd line up for the field goal, and then the kicker would go through the motion and not actually kick anything. It was bizarre. And I joked with the people in our section that if the Jets were allowed phantom kicks last year, they would have won 10 games. I mean, it was ridiculous. At one point, the ref, after one of these phantom field goal attempts, lifted his hands like it was good. Because we were joking in the stands, like, oh, that one was right down the middle, right through. And then the ref actually lifted his hands on one of them. We're like, see, it's true. So that was, I don't know. I thought that was weird. I wanted to point that one out. I've never seen that before. We had the phantom kicks. That was weird. Did they do that at the other practices you were at too?
No, first time. I think that might be a scrimmage thing. No idea. Haven't seen it before. If you talk about the kickers overall, Jake, today, Folk missed a tough one at the start, but connected multiple times from beyond 50 yards. You saw the power and the glute of the thicker kicker. He just missed multiple times today, missed badly on one of them. It's a kicker competition, but I don't think Nick Folk would have done everything he can to recover from an injury that he suffered at the end of last year and come off the couch, the 40-year-old, to sign with this team if it wasn't pretty much told to him ahead of time that he was going to earn the starting job.
He's going to get every opportunity to do it. The thicker kicker, Mevis, he definitely has a better leg as far as like strength, but I think Folk is more reliable. Why don't we do this? We got Nate on the line. I was just with Nate at the meetup. I want his thoughts on the entire day. Nate, I'm coming to you, baby. How we feeling?
Guys, can you hear me at all?
I hear you, Nate.
We can.
All right. I kind of forgot my little headband piece to cut off the wind, so if you need to cut me off, I totally understand. Oh, that was not at me. That was at someone else. Great to see both you guys at practice today. You guys are
likewise.
The leaders of Jets content. We got a couple Connor Long chants going. We got the whole section chanting it. It was a lot of fun. Got Robbie Sabo turning towards us. We had all the Jets ASMANIAC Jets made their appearance, at least to those of us that were sitting together. It was a lot of fun. I don't. You guys seem to cover practice pretty well. It was ugly, obviously. I just want to give my shout outs, first of all. Everyone who traveled to the ASMANIAC Meetup was a blast. It was the best ASMANIAC Meetup, and I've been to most of them, I think, or at least all of the events. I think it was the best ASMANIAC Meetups, and I think all of that goes to Chef Kev. Like, from the food to the... Again, Jake, no offense to you, because you helped put this together, but, like, Chef Kev put it, and his family... Cloverleaf Tavern, everyone put it all together. I have a fucking, like you mentioned earlier, I've got glasses, I've got koozies. It was the best sliders I've ever had in my life. It was the best chicken tenders I've ever had.
The food was amazing.
It was the best.
The Chef Kevin. The food was
The
incredible.
pretzel was so soft and buttery, I can't even explain it. You know, it's like, there's a reason why he's an executive chef at a restaurant that does, you know, very kind of like more American fare type of food. It's just like 10 out of 10. All of it was stellar. So, the practice did suck. I agree with both of you, but anyone that went to the Chef Kev Cloverleaf Tavern knows that was the best part of the day. So we're hoping. I'm hoping that wasn't the best part of our season today, just like last practice was. Watching Rodgers, you know, deal on your right. My guy. That's a Giants fan right there. Wow. Shout out to Chef. Shout out to Jake West. Took me door to door, round trip. So, again, I appreciate Jake West for that. Hold on, I had one more shout-out. Oh, no, I'm blanking. Too many tequila sunrises. Connor, don't do it. Hold on, there was one more shout-out. It was Connor.
This is technically drunk driving, folks. I saw Nate
hold
housing
on,
beers.
Bus, hold on, bus. My lane, bus. Yeah, there was one more. I met Mike D's Nuts and his wife. That was great. They drove. I met South Ass and his wife Dana, Anna, something. They were great. Hold on. There was one more major shout out. I'm blanking. Oh man, I'm gonna have to call back for. There was like a third major shout out, and now I'm just.
Would that be Chris Grosso, or am I?
It absolutely was not Chris Grosso.
Whoa.
Nate, the wind's picking up, so I'm going to let you go. But if you think of it, you call back. Nate was awesome. Shout out to him.
Love
I see
it.
Jay Quest and Tom Ace. Tom Ace is in the chat. Shout out to Tom for the ride from the Jet facility to the Cloverleaf Tavern. We were playing a little parking lot football after the practice ended, so that was a lot of fun. Me, Tom Ace, Jay Quest, and Nate. So good to hang with them. Jay Quest had this comment earlier. Hey, Jake. Let's talk about how the AsManiacs affected Aaron Glenn today. So if you guys saw the clip, I didn't have time to pull it, obviously, because I just got home minutes ago. Glenn started his presser today saying that today was the first day it really felt like he was the Jet coach, that he was emotional hearing the Jet chants before practice today. Those Jet chants were started by Jay Quest, Johnny Boy, Nate, Tom Ace, and everyone that was in our section. So they were the first ones to do the Jet chant. So the AsManiacs were the ones who got Aaron Glenn to tear up before practice. I didn't even know this until afterwards when I saw that clip making the rounds, but it was the AsManiacs who were the ones who did that initial Jet chant, apparently. I wasn't even at practice yet when this happened. I didn't even get to my seat yet. And that was apparently the moment that it became real for Aaron Glenn as the Jet head coach, Connor. How about that?
Love to see it. AsManiacs representing everyone. I will add one thing about Nate. I always find it great how he is just on his bike, patrolling around New York City, and you see a truck come within 2 feet of him and almost kill him, and it's just a quick little whoa, and then he gets right back on track into the analysis. So shout out to Nate for that, as always.
By the way, for those of you curious, a bunch of you already asked me at today's event, the next big AsManiac event is coming up. It is 2 weeks from today. It is at T Squared Social in New York City, 7 East 42nd Street. Jets Giants ticketed event, $18 ticket, and you get a free beer, free shot, and a raffle ticket. We're going to be giving away this huge signed and framed Breece Hall jersey, plus 2 tickets to the Jets-Panthers game that will be in the AsManiac section 129 at Jet Life, signed Corbett jersey, and a signed AG jersey, all that and more to be raffled away. We're talking about the key takeaways from the Green White Scrimmage. If you missed it, you missed a slot fest. If you're into penalties, you saw a lot of them. Hopefully they clean it up. Fields, not much passing today, was effective when he ran. I thought the running attack overall by the Jets, you saw what they were trying to do with some of the RPOs and quarterback power. So that was, encouraging, but just not a good day passing wise. And you worry about Reynolds, rolling his ankle, whatever the injury specifically was, and him coming up limping, what his status is. Jets are off tomorrow. They hit the practice field again on Monday. So we will see. But it was a sloppy scrimmage from the Jets. So, penalties and sloppiness would be the big takeaway today. I think Fields technically was like 2 of 10 in team periods with a couple drops thrown in there. So not great, but he did make plays with his legs. It wasn't great all around. Super chat from C. He earns 2 raffle tickets. Once again, for those tuning in late, this is the last show until the raffle on Monday. I'm not planning on doing a stream tomorrow, but I am on radio at 8 a.m. tomorrow on ESPN New York from 8 to noon. So if you want to hear Jets talk, I'll be definitely talking Jets throughout the show tomorrow from 8 to noon. But this is from C, who says, I know it's early, but when does the passing game become a concern? Someone to step up as a Robin to G5. Rough day for Fields in the O. Happy I stayed home. I would say if there's not improvement with another week or so, I think it's fair to be concerned because you want some growth and improvement. Fields had the 2 shaky practices this past week, and then Friday he played really well and bounced back. Like that's what you ultimately want to see. You want to see growth. The defense for the Jets, let's not forget, it's a really good defense. They're well coached on that side of the ball. And defense is typically ahead of the offense early. So I say give it another week. Let's see what they look like after the preseason game and see if the offense could take some steps forward. But, the Robin to G5, I don't think they have that. That's been my concern for months. And watching it in person today did nothing to alleviate that concern.
Give it one more week, as Jake said. Still adapting to a new scheme. But again, you need someone to step up in this wide receiver room behind Garrett Wilson. Josh Reynolds isn't going to get it done, folks. Josh Reynolds is someone I view as a low-end wide receiver 3, middle tier wide receiver 4, and a on a solid team, or even, a wide receiver 4, wide receiver 5. Jets need someone to step up. You hope it's Arian Smith or Malachi Corley, but the Jets need someone to step up desperately at both the tight end position and the wide receiver position as this running game continues to ascend.
Al Scar Capone says, hey, Jay, do you think having Myers in at center, Tippmann left guard, played a part in the offense? No, I don't think so. I just think it was collectively, because it wasn't even just the first team offense, right? I mean, Tyrod on the second team offense did nothing really either, and they were going up against backups. Same with the third team. It was bad. I don't know. I really think Glenn asked the officials to call it tighter on the offense today, so they have teach tape to go over. That's what Robbie Sabo and I were talking about after practice. That to me makes the most sense, because there were obvious penalties on defense they did not call, and I was like, how could they call everything on offense and nothing on defense? Like, A.Z. Thomas had the most glaring hold I've ever seen, and they didn't call it. So I was like, what are we doing?
The jersey, like literally pulled said wide receivers.
It was Arian Smith. Yeah, it was
Arian
rookie
Smith,
on rookie. Pulled Arian Smith, and they didn't call it. And it would have been an easy completion. I think it was Tyrod that threw it. I mean, it was it was an odd one. That was definitely the sloppiest practice I've seen in person out of any of them that I've been to over the years. So that was boring. It was boring, honestly. I felt bad for the fans that were there. You didn't really get to see anything. You saw a couple Fields runs. There was one Stone Smart, nice catch in the end zone. Who else scored a touchdown today? Was it just really Stone Smart?
You had Stone
and
Smart,
Justin
you had Fields, you had Brady Cook got pretty close. I don't think Brady Cook ultimately got in the end zone, though. So Fields on that nice run, and then Stone Smart hauled into not too many big plays for the team today.
Tom Ace wants to know, did Sabo like the shout-outs the Asmaniacs gave him? He loved them. He loved them. He said he was trying to figure out where they were coming from.
I saw that. Robbie was looking around to locate the chance. Robbie Sabo, what a guy. Great to see him today.
What a gentleman. Here's what I'm going to do right now. Since I think we only have one membership that's been gifted and we're an hour in. Bit of a clunky show because I was on my phone for half of it. Connor did a great job getting us going here. I'm going to gift 5 memberships right now. So if you're watching live right now, Jet fans, give you a chance to get in the raffle on Monday. All you need to do is subscribe to the channel, click the like button, and gift a click the like button, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you have in your settings on YouTube here that you want to be able to receive a channel membership. So I'm going to gift 5 channel memberships right now. Hit the like button. If you're watching, you'll be eligible to get one. Here we go. 5 memberships about to be gifted. If you hear your name called, you are officially an Asmaniac. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blast off. 5 channel memberships have been gifted.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
Let's see. The following 5 people are channel members: Brian Glick, JC Jets, Scott Foster, Zach Tendler, and Joe Lombardo. I will make sure that those 5 people are added to the raffle. And how about Connor Long? Connor, don't spend your own money. Save your money. You're a kid. He gifted 1 channel membership. Connor's membership went to Slim Pickens. So Slim Pickens, you're now a channel member as well. Comments, questions, super chats. Big shout out to all the Jet fans that I met, not just at our meetup, but a bunch of Asmaniacs coming up to me at practice today, which was really cool. So we had a really cool turnout of people at our event at Cloverleaf Tavern, and then a bunch of great people that were just at practice today that were fans of the show. So that was really cool. Shout out to John and Jim. They work for the Jets. They were driving around on golf carts who said hello to me today. They're actually Jet employees who are Asmaniacs as well. So love that.
Yeah.
Snowball says, just dropped Lee Van off in Midtown. Back to the island. Safe travels, Snowball. Love that. We had people come from all over to be at camp today, which is great. All right, let's get to more calls here before we wrap up an abbreviated Saturday show, recapping the big takeaways from the Green and White Scrimmage. Connor Long sitting in with me. He was there today with his dad. Chris Grasso was there. They were out and about watching camp practice.
Oh, yeah.
Let's say hello right now to the great, the incredible, the immortal Kyle Clifton.
I have to admit, guys, I had a nice day with the family on Jamaica Bay, but I did have the fear of missing something. So
You were missed today, Kyle. A couple of people came up to me like, "Is Clifton here?" I go, "No, unfortunately, he's not."
What's that?
A couple of people asked about you. They were like, "Is Kyle Clifton coming today?"
So I was thinking about Josh Reynolds and how important he really ends up being to this team as WR2. Like, maybe, if this injury is serious, this is a huge problem for this team because they need someone to be a threat at that X position. And I've kind of been screaming it the whole time long. Like, I think this offense works better if they have a viable X out there. I don't expect them to have Mike Evans, but I'm not sure Lazard or even Reynolds would have been the guy. Even the tight ends that they have that are somewhat athletic, I don't think Stone Smith has the speed to be that guy. Coons isn't quite there yet, but they need someone that is going to draw safety help over to open up this running game since we're +1 there. I don't know that they're going to have a guy that falls out of camp cuts that's going to be able to help us if this is a serious injury for Reynolds, and it's a little bit of a concern.
It doesn't sound like it is. Just reading through some, I didn't get to hear Glenn's press conference in its entirety yet, but just checking through some of the tweets, doesn't sound like it's overly serious.
There's a lot of people out on the walk right now.
Are they Jet fans? Are they AsManiacs, Kyle?
I think that they're just coming back from the beach. They're all just chilling. I mean, it's August at the beach, so they're all thrilled.
Are they chilling like Big Joe? What level of chill are they doing?
No one chills like Big Joe.
Nobody.
That's just elite tier. That's its own tier right there.
Yeah. So keep that in mind. I think that there's a guy that and definitely for next year via the draft or whatever. I understand that the Mike Evans of the world and the guys that are like AJ Browns, they don't come along every day, but that's something that we really need to make this offense pop, whether Fields is the guy or not. So I appreciate your time, guys.
Kyle, excellent call. They need another receiver, Connor. I mean, watching it today, it was obvious. They do not have enough of wide receiver. I don't know how they could go into I get it. They want to run and do all that. They need another receiver. Gabe Davis is out there. I saw him. He's under 30. If that's what they care about.
I wrote about Gabe Davis a few weeks ago for JetX, Jake. He's someone who is, yes, I understand he's still kind of recovering from late season injury, a knee injury that left him sidelined for most of the year, but he should be almost done with that recovery. And Jake, we saw what he could do paired with Stephon Diggs as the wide receiver to open up opportunities for him. You hope he could do the same with Garrett Wilson. Why not? Why not give him an opportunity? I agree. Call Gabe Davis. Shawan Jennings is another name who's out there as well. You'd have to trade for him, though. Gabe Davis remains on the open market. Get him on a relatively cheap deal. You have the cap space to make such a move. So Gabe Davis agreed there.
Well said. Oh, how about this? Green Gang. Let me tell you about Green Gang real quick. So Green Gang came all the way from Baltimore to be at our meetup today.
Wow.
And Green Gang, I guess he's on his ride back to Baltimore right now. He gifted 5 channel memberships. Green Gang, great to meet you in person, my friend. He was a big hit with the community. And this is for you.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
All right, if you hear your name called, Green Gang made you a channel member. Tommy Clifford, RB, K. Brock, Jorge Galvez, and Gadget. They received memberships from Green Gang. And who else but the great Rick Kent? Rick Kent supporting the channel, getting himself 10 raffle tickets for the raffle on Monday. 10 spot from Rick. Let's roll.
Now, give me money. Or I shoot him. And I shoot all you motherfuckers. And then we take it. Your choice, bitches.
Big Islander fan Dylan Barr, Ali Shafi, Victor Smith, Jet Life, Harris Bornstein, Juno Rudy, Jay Sams, Big Bert, all receiving a channel membership there from the Rick Kent. Rick, hope you're well, my friend. You were missed today, Rick. Hopefully you enjoyed the Discord updates. There's so many photos in the Discord. In fact, maybe I'll just pull up the Discord here and I'll screen share it on my end and we'll go through some of it in just a little bit. But let's get to more of your calls here as we recap what was a lackadaisical day, to say the least, at Jet practice. It was sloppy. There wasn't a ton to really evaluate and be excited about, but we did our best.
real quick, Kenny with a super chat. Nice to see Glenn coaching both sides of the ball. I did like Glenn pulling them off the field.
Yes.
During that one sequence where they had I forget what it was. It was like Brees run, penalty, field sacked, then delay a game. It was 3rd and 17.
There was a delay game on a kick, by the way, too. Sorry to cut you off there. There was a delay game on a kick as well today.
Yeah, terrible.
Yeah, it was a joke. It was a joke.
Glenn pulled them the offense. He didn't let them run the 3rd down play. He just said, "You're out." He yanked the starting offense off the field, which I was
Love it.
Good.
Saleh would have been too busy chopping it up with the offensive assistants that he wouldn't even have realized any penalties there wouldn't have been any penalties because there would have been no zebras there, but he wouldn't have realized anything. It's great to see Glenn obviously out there, not only dividing his time with the different positions group, but asserting his authority, locking in on practice, and really stepping up and being the adult.
Beast wrote in, I just finished fixing a poster board. What a pain in the ass it was. I know we all want to talk Jets, but Beast, tell us more about this.
That boy right here. Just finished it a couple of minutes ago.
I thought you were a Knicks fan, Beast. What?
Hey, I'm a Knicks guy, but also this guy too. The great Jordan.
How could you like Jordan and be a Knicks fan, though? Jordan killed the Knicks.
Yeah, I know that, but the thing is, follow timeline.
Hey, Beast, how come your mic is not plugged in? I can't see the beautiful colors.
You mean the 600? You mean the 64 colors that you see every day in the Crayola box? Now the tape here that holds because they gave me a cheap quality. So I'll tell you.
Did you steal that from a dive bar somewhere, Beast?
Yeah, please.
What?
Beast, did you get that? Who sent that to the Global Studio headquarters?
I picked it up yesterday from Walmart out in Countryside, all the way out in the nice summer.
You got that from Walmart?
Right. hey, Walmart is not that bad. You know why? Walmart is actually decent.
I love Walmart, but why would they sell that at Walmart?
They're not like Staples. Staples used to be my favorite, but Staples is gone.
All right, we'll check back in with you, Beast. Thank you.
That could go anywhere.
Let's hear from a man who made Aaron Glenn cry this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, Jay Quest is next. Jay Quest, your Jet chant made Aaron Glenn get all emotional. How do you feel?
Fuck yeah, man. I think that's pretty fucking awesome, man. That's pretty cool.
Can you tell the story? I told it right. Were you listening just before when I explained what happened?
Yeah, it's pretty much it. It was pretty quiet and lame out there. So I told Nate and Johnny and Snowball, let's do a Jet chant. So they were stretching, and then, we just did the chant, and obviously we found out later that shit got him choked up. That's pretty fucking cool, It's pretty awesome.
You're the reason why Aaron Glenn was all emotional at the podium today.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet, man. Too bad the play was god-awful, but...
yeah, what'd you think of practice?
It was just like you said, man. It's terrible. But let me ask you guys a question, because I don't know if you guys noticed it, and if I cut out, I apologize. I'm driving home right now. But I felt like Garrett was a little frustrated on the sidelines. Connor, did you notice that? With it coming off?
Yeah, he's been like that throughout his whole career. Look, I mean, you like to see players like this players like this of his caliber get frustrated when the offense isn't moving accordingly and the offense is struggling overall. I mean, he's reunited with his college quarterback, just got a huge payday. I want to see the attitude change entering the season, but rightfully so, Jay Quest. I mean, the offense wasn't moving the ball. They struggled overall as a unit today.
Yeah, and every time we got a good play, like, a 20-yard run or a 20-yard catch, it was like a penalty happened. And we had to bring it back, So it's just very frustrating to watch. We booed the refs, right?
I booed the offense too.
Yeah, no, it was just overall bad practice. But listen, it's gonna happen, right? Nothing's perfect. Last year, think about it. Last year I went to the Jets-Giants practice, and we saw Garrett Wilson just ball out, Aaron Rodgers just ball out, and we were like, yeah, baby, they're practicing so well. And look what happened at the season. So maybe this year it's the opposite. Maybe we see a shitty practice, a shitty scrimmage, and then the season starts and they find it and we get it, get it going. Hopefully that's what I'm hoping for, because another losing season's gonna suck,
Yep.
Yeah, it was rough. I go back to last year too. To your point, they destroyed. They really outplayed the Commanders in a joint practice last year. Rodgers didn't even play because it was raining and Saleh held him out, and they were worried about that. And Tyrod and Garrett just destroyed the Commanders' defense, and the Jet defense made Jaden Daniels look terrible. And
I remember that.
I'm like, this guy sucks. This guy's terrible. And then he was historically great as a rookie. So you take it with a grain of salt. There's good practices, bad practices. today was just bad. So hopefully the next time they practice on Monday, they're a lot better, and that means the coaching works, and they're being held accountable, and they correct their mistakes, and they go from there.
Definitely. And before I go, I just want to give a shout out to Chef Kev for hosting all of us. It was a great time. I just want to give a story to Charles Gorman story that Jake you made out of. So there was 2 baked potatoes on where you had your stickers and stuff like that, displayed.
Yeah.
And Tom Ace and Nate had one, and there was one left. And Gorman had no clue whose it was. Like, he had no clue. He walks over and sticks his fingers in the baked potato. And I forgot what was on top of that, Jake. What was that? Like, that fried shit. What was that?
There was cheese mixed in there. There was, like, onion rings. It was like a loaded baked potato.
He grabs the onion rings and starts eating it. And it's not the potato. And then he goes in again and grabs more. And we're yelling at him. And he drops it on the ground. So now he picks it up and he's looking for a garbage. So now we're trying to convince him to eat it. We're like, 5-second rule, Charles, you can eat it. And he's contemplating eating the onion rings that are on the floor. It's so disgusting. And then he puts it on top of the baked potato. It was on the floor. Like, he's fucking crazy, man. He's nuts. Charles Gorman is crazy.
Disgrace. The best part was Gorman's speech when then after he gave his speech, Nick Shine asked or started saying chug, chug to the chicken soup he had in his hand. And Gorman trying to chug the chicken soup spilled about half of it on him and the floor at Chef Kevin's restaurant, and the crowd went nuts.
I think Nick Shine recorded that, so I'm sure Gator's going to have that and clip it up. But yeah, that was epic. Charles.
There'll be a recap video, a highlight, something. We're going to have a lot of content from this video.
A highlight reel, like a mixtape that all you see out of the high school basketball players. And
yeah, and we shout out to see South there from lives upstate. Mike D's Nuts came from upstate.
Mike D's Nuts, yes.
Great, dude. It was really good to see everyone. Maybe not Johnny Boy, but everyone else. It was great to see everyone.
Yeah, besides Johnny Boy, everyone else. It was just tremendous.
Exactly.
All right, guys. Listen, let me get home. I had to work in 3 hours. I'm fucking tired. So
good luck, Jake West. Great to see you today, man. Jake West completely cooked me in a little parking lot football, man. I tried to do a little stop and go, but he wasn't playing press coverage, and the route didn't work. So it was a tough one.
Does he have a height advantage, Jake? What is the?
No, we're about even in height, but it was just better coverage by Jake West. You just tip your cap to him.
There we go. One of those plays.
Let me go through a couple photos here with you, Connor. I think you'll enjoy this. I'm pulling up my Discord, which, by the way, folks, if you want access to my private Discord, become a Patreon member. Patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. That is the way to do it. Let's see here. Let's go full screen.
Oh wow, I haven't witnessed these yet, so
first here we go. I'll start from the top here. So we'll go from the top, and everyone can enjoy the greatness. All right, shout out to Wayne Corbett, or not Wayne. I mean Lavernius Coles and Braylon Edwards, who were there today. Here's Nate and Jay Quest with both of them. That's awesome. Doing the jet sound with them.
Chris and I nabbed our pictures as well. Great to see both those guys.
Nick Faria. Shout out to Nick for picking me up at my apartment this morning at 7. Let's see. This is what Charles Gorman wore to the meetup today. Show me your butthole. Excuse my language for anyone out there with children around. Also, quick update. The Dream, for those who saw that call yesterday, the Dream requested. He says, Jake, I just rewatched my call. Actually, I want to be called the Dream again.
I did see that yesterday.
Which is hilarious. Okay, here we go. To the photos we go. Legends are here. We got Mike D's Nuts, and we got the big fella in the house. We got Snowball and Nate. Nate not being on his bike. It's weird, but it was happening. We have Nate and Gorman, so for whatever reason, grabbing their male genitalia here. I cannot explain what's happening here, but there's something odd going on here. I mean, Charles is nuts, as they say. Literally, look at him. He's grabbing his fanny pack nuts. Anyway, here we got Charles and Mike D's Nuts. We had Rex Ryan's brother Rob Ryan here today. That's just kidding. That's shout out to Duncan and his family. They were there. Shout out to Chef Kev for the custom menu. Jets party. Special guest. That's me, Jake Asman. Whoa, hey now.
The famous man himself.
Here's a picture I took of the turnout here. We had the whole back room to ourselves. There were Jets declarations everywhere. We had some food that was being distributed. What else we have here? Here's a look at the food specials. The Jake Asman stuffed baked potato that Charles Gorman apparently murdered with his mouth. The Roseanne-inspired chicken noodle soup. The Gabagool sliders. Let me say this. They were so good.
There we go.
They were amazing. And shout out to Mark, who ordered them for the table I was sitting at, because they were tremendous. Here are some photos. Here, we'll rapid fire through them. Bunch of great Asmaniacs here. I won't tell you who Tom Ace is, but is Tom Ace in one of these photos? The man of mystery.
What a guy,
Snowball, Lee Van. I mean, we got a who's who of people that were here. Also, I want to give a huge shout out. The guy on the right wearing the number 7 jersey. That's not Fields. That's a Kenny O jersey. That's Raymond Luxury Yacht. He doesn't normally call the show, but he watches all the time. So good to see him today at a meetup. That's Big Fella and his son. So and by the way, his son's pretty big too. We can't even call him the little fella. I mean, it just an awesome turnout here. I'm going to rapid fire through some of the photos. NY Jet Cave is the guy on the right. That's Rick. He won a Wayne Corbett signed photo today. These two actually live in Caldwell, so it was a local stop for them. Chef Kevin and his family here. We got Mike D's Nuts and his wife. That's Jay Graves right there. That's Rob Ryan. No, I'm just kidding. That's Duncan and his family. Jets Forever right here. John LG checking it out. 99 Jet.
Forever. The hold man himself.
That's him. That's him. But the Jets Forever we like, not the one that's a troll.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to. That's what I thought. Yes.
Let's see. What other photos do I have here? And shout out to JQuest for taking all these photos. That's great.
Absolutely.
All the different tables here. I mean, just awesome. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, this is me with my Jake Asman baked potato. Nate took this picture. Great photo. By the way, these are the onion rings that were on the
that Charles annihilated.
Yeah, that Charles just gourmified. By the way, for those wondering about the sombrero, Chef Kevin gave me that. It's right here.
Yeah, I saw the this is I pinned a comment actually about it earlier, Jake.
It's the Cloverleaf Tavern. Yeah, Ricky wants to know, did I lose a bet? I did not lose a bet, Ricky. This is the Cloverleaf Tavern sombrero that Chef Kevin gave me that I said I would proudly wear on the show. So I'm a man of my word.
Yeah.
Let's see. What else we got here to do? Oh, shout out to South Ass. But South Ass happened to be on vacation in the Jersey area with his wife, and he came by today, which was awesome.
Love it.
The guy on the right, I don't know who that is.
Who's that?
I don't know who that is. Nick Shine, though, is with him. Is it possible that this guy might be someone whose initials are TA? Maybe. I don't know. This is my photo that I had to take with Gorman. By the way, join the Discord, people. And if you want access to this, you can see all this by joining my Patreon. If you're wondering how to get access to this, patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. Sign up for the year. And when you sign up for the year, you get 10 raffle tickets in Monday's raffle. Upstate legends here. South Ass and D's Nuts. Mike D's Nuts.
Iconic.
Also, it was Chef Kevin's birthday yesterday. So we all sang happy birthday to Chef Kevin. Cloverleaf surprised him with a cake. This was awesome.
What a guy. Love Chef Kevin. So great to see everyone was well represented today at Cloverleaf.
Oh, God. Charles Gorman trying the chicken soup here. Show me your butthole.
Wow. What an explicit hat to wear, too. What I was told by you, Jake, a family-friendly event today.
Yeah, Charles could not stop cursing. He cursed like a sailor. Also, does this look like Charles? This is the type of stuff you see when you join my Discord, by the way. You get photos like this. And then Charles randomly just throws Jared Allen's Hall of Fame speech in here. By the way, while I'm showing off the Discord to people, we have a whole tab for Jet News. So we have it curated by Sham and Bill M. They do a great job basically updating everyone.
Member of JetX, by the way. I don't know if you knew that, Jake. But,
of course I knew that. Sham's making the website pop for you guys.
Oh, yeah. Sham has joined us at JetX Factor. So love to see Sham around now.
We have a entire tab for Asmaniacs to show off their man caves or women caves or however you want to describe it. People post their different merch and stuff they got here, which is pretty cool. We also have a tab for shameless promo, where it's basically people plugging their own channels, whether it's Nick or Danger Zone or Bobby Midnight going live or Gorman. Jets Worldwide, so we promote the other Asmaniac spinoffs in here. We also have a more sports channel where people can talk about non-Jet or NFL stuff. We have an entertainment channel, which is basically Charles Gorman just talking about superheroes with people. So we have that one. You guys want to see what the Asmaniac Madness tab looks like?
I haven't even seen all of that.
This is literally Boomtown asked for feedback on the monthly rankings, and I just wrote big month for Big Cho, and then Gator just wrote this. So if you guys were curious how the rankings come together, this is how it happens.
I've been a member of this Discord for probably about a year and a half now, and I had no idea all of this even existed. So
well, the Asmaniac Madness one is locked. You got to be approved in that one. But
there we go.
I mean, and also the announcement tab where I announced something big about a jet cruise that I'm going to be hosting, and all I'm going to say is I'm going to talk more about it on the show this week. But if you guys want to learn more about a cruise that I am hosting with jet legends Marty Lyon, Sean Ellis, Leon Washington, Jericho Cotry, Chris Ivory, Bilal Powell, go to thejetcruise.com. I'm just going to tease it now. Thejetcruise.com. It is the biggest event that I've been working on in my Asmaniac career. Check it out. Thejetcruise.com.
Love it.
A little teaser. Fireman Ed as well. Plus Richie, Matt O'Leary, Green Bean, and Ryan are all coming on this cruise with the Asmaniacs here. So I will leave it at that. That is a little teaser of what the Discord is. Hopefully you guys are like, what? What's the Discord? Now you know what it is, but obviously. Oh, my God. Gator. So as I'm talking here, Gator being Gator just threw this one in.
Papa Jet. Oh, God.
Papa Jet. Love it.
Guy.
All right. On that note. Oh, wait. Did we just get a picture blast here from Mark? We did. Hold on. More pictures to break down, Connor.
There we go.
I didn't
As I'm in the spotlight.
Where'd it go? Here we go. All right, more pictures from the meetup here. Thank you to Mark, who might be watching live and knew to put this in. Got the menus here, flyers. That's me on the phone talking to Jay Quest. Oh, dude, the lobster rolls. I have a shellfish allergy, so I personally couldn't try it, but I heard that they were excellent. The food, by the way, everything that anyone had was so good. Shout out to Chef Kevin and the staff there. They were awesome. This is the birthday cake for Chef Kev. And everyone left with a jet bucket today. I mean, it was unreal.
Iconic, to say the least, Jake.
Unreal. Also, do we really need to see Mark's legs here? Look at this. These hot dogs are legs. What do we think?
Hey. Let's keep it PG.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is the Asmaniac Discord. So join the Patreon if you want access to that. We got like 500 something people in there now, so it's good to see the community continuing to grow. All right, Connor, you're more than welcome to stick around if you want. If not, I can handle the final calls. You've had a long day. So what time did you get up? 3:45 in the morning to make it to training camp today?
It's when the first alarm went off at 3:45. I probably woke up around 5-ish. You got to set the alarms. The key is, Jake, I need at least like 5 alarms in order for me to actually get up. So you got to set the early one. Yeah, first alarm was up at 3:45. I slept until 5. I'm good, Jake. I as long as my invitation has been extended, as long as my contract has been extended here on the show, I'm honored to.
Yes, it's not past Connor's bedtime just yet. So
not yet. We got 10 minutes, and then I have to hit the ham. I'm playing. I'm good. I appreciate it.
Love it. All right, let's do some calls here before we wrap. Reminder: this is the last show till our raffle on Monday, and we're going to give away a signed DeBrickashaw Ferguson football, a signed Nick Mangold Ring of Honor jersey, and a signed Broadway Joe Namath jersey. So those are the top prizes that we have. So stick around and get the membership if you want in for any of those. Shooter in Japan is up next. What's up, Shooter?
Hey, how's it going?
Shooter. How are you?
Can you hear me? Hey, good. How are you? Good. I woke up at 4 a.m. Couldn't sleep, so I've been hitting the bottle.
I like it.
Can you guys hear me okay?
We got you loud and clear.
You have better connection than most of my callers do, and you're in the other side of the world.
That's what my nephew said. He was like that. He was reading the comments on yesterday's show. After I got on, he was like, "Oh my God, these comments are hilarious." There's these bugs that are, I'm not sure if you can hear it, but I guess it's like mating season for these. I thought it was the power lines, but obviously it's these bugs. They're so loud. I'm not sure if you guys can hear it.
Sounds like
But yeah,
louder crickets is what it sounds like.
yeah, that's what it sounds like. I had a question about the wide receiver too, but there was a lot to unpack for the last 15 minutes of your show with the cruise, which was like wow. Like I've always wanted to go on the cruise, Jake. Chris Ivory was always one of my favorite Jet players. He held it down for us for a while. He was one of my favorites. The Charles Gorman speech. We need a video.
It's coming. The video's coming. It's gonna be.
That sounds
legendary.
that sounds epic. Like that threw me off of my question, but looking into the future, Jake. So next month is week. We have week one opening day. I will be there. I'm there for 2 days. I'm pretty much just going for the game and the game alone. I wanted to get your guys' take on what's the perfect blueprint for a Jets game, like the tailgate. Is there a specific gate you guys meet up at? Is there like what would be like your directions for me to have like the best experience of Jets game from morning to after the game, after the pre-game, post-game, everything?
You're talking about week one?
Yeah, like what would like? Is there a specific like tailgate that a lot of you guys? I know you're not. I know you're probably not going to be there, Jake. But is there like a specific tailgate where most of you guys are at, or like?
Yeah, it really depends.
Walk me through.
I'd recommend Gotham City Crew or Tailgate Joe. They both do a great job. You buy a ticket to their tailgate, and they got food, drinks, games, live music. They do a great job. It depends what you're looking for. If you care more about the food, you might value one over the other. But there's a bunch of like these like prepackaged tailgate companies out there. I happen to know both Joe and the Gotham City guys. I think they're great.
Yeah.
So I'd recommend one of them. Gotham City Crew. I think they're phenomenal. So I feel like your vibe shooter. You're hitting the bottle. Early in the morning out there. I think you're maybe a Gotham City Crew guy, which will be fun.
Yeah, that sounds great. Yeah, I can't wait. You think Scary Terry obviously gets re-signed by the Commanders?
I don't think they trade him.
I don't think so either.
They have all the leverage. Still 1 year left on the deal. I don't think he's getting more money elsewhere.
Yeah, like we need to get somebody. I didn't know Gabe Davis was available. He's interesting. It always seems like the conference players always like kind of swap, like Bills, Jets, Patriots. Like they always like. I think it'd be good to get somebody in the building from the Buffalo, so maybe we can learn a little bit of their secrets. I think that never hurts. Gabe Davis is, I think he's a big play potential that would pair good with Garrett.
Yeah, look, in a perfect world, it'd be great. But the Jets, I don't believe, Shooter, are going to acquire Terry McLaurin, trade a significant draft pick, maybe even a first-round pick, and then pay him a contract that even if it's not as long as what Garrett's is, it's going to be at least $30 million AAV. And it just doesn't make sense given where the Jets are right now to do that. I just don't think they're going to make that type of investment in a wide receiver, even if he'd make them better. Of course he would. He's really good. But it's logically speaking, from a team building standpoint and the offense the Jets want to run with the uncertainty they have at quarterback, they're not going to make that type of move for Terry McLaurin.
Jake, he's about to turn 30 years old. The Jets can't have nearly $300 million tied up in wide receivers over the next few seasons. And also, like, what message does that send to Garrett that you just committed to him long term and now you're trying to go out and trade for, another guy who's obviously going to take targets away from him? I don't think, the pass catchers are pretty barren right now, but I don't think this team is in dire straits to the point where they need to do everything they can to trade for Terry McLaurin.
It'd be nice. And they're certainly short a receiver, but I don't see it. By the way, I'm just going to bitch about the Yankees. So the Yankees followed up last night's stellar performance by sending Trent Grisham home on a line drive that he was never going to score on. And then Jazz Chisholm just got doubled up on a pop fly to second base. And Aaron Boone spoke to him behind closed doors after that play, and he's still in the game. So we didn't even mention him. I mean, just.
You want Boone fired? Is that what the Yankees fans have been saying? I feel like they've all Yankee fans have kind of been on this up and down roller coaster.
I think they need, I do think you can make a case they need a new voice. They're just not going to do it in season. But they better win this game. They're down 1-0 right now. You can't losing. They scored 12 runs and lost last night. Like, you got to be kidding me. It's just ridiculous. I see the Mets are up 3-0.
It's tied 3-3 now. The Mets, great game last night, forced it into extras after a rough start. Ultimately faltered. Problem with both of these teams, Jake, both the Mets and the Yankees, they're too streaky. They're too streaky. We obviously saw the Mets get off to such a hot start and maintain that, and then lost 7 of 8 at a point, and had one of the worst records in all of baseball from mid-June to mid-July, and now they're back on since the Pablo Sanchez. It's just both teams are so streaky. That's the bottom line. And with the postseason coming around, both teams got to get in check.
Hey, shout out to Mark who says, great times today, boys. Mark, shout out to you. I don't know if you were watching when I zoomed in on your leg, but great legs, man. Seriously, Mark, good hanging with you. Gabagool sliders were excellent. Great job by you. And the pictures you took were great. We showed them in the Discord just before. Michael says waiver wire. They'll be shopping for a wide receiver and D-line. And probably. I mean, the fact that think about how bad the offense was today, and Quinnen wasn't even out there.
Exactly. I think they'll find someone on cut down day. We always see surprise cuts at each position. I think they could find someone after cut down day.
All right, last chance to get in here. Comments, questions, super chats, gift of membership, and you're in the raffle, which will be on Monday. Let's say hello right now to the great David T.
I got my INUJ. I hope you like my Jets take. They call me David T. It's not easy for me to see, but if you bring me full stream, you might like what I had to say. I'll need to get real damn close, cause my vision is dog shit.
Hi, Connor and Jake.
Hey there,
David.
Aren't we fortunate to have Chef Kevin as a great Jet fan and a great Asmaniac? Really, really, really cool. And I was listening to Connor, your show from last night a little bit, and I'm thinking about it for a while and had to subscribe to your channel. Hope you don't mind, Jake.
You should subscribe to Connor's channel. He's doing a great job. He's going to take all our jobs one day. We're just here for the ride.
Well, I think I had called into his channel, and you two are like the old timers would say, peas in a pod. Your brains work fast, but you're so articulate and explain everything about the Jets that even a bobo like me can comprehend it.
Much appreciated, David. Appreciate the kind words there, my friend.
Yeah. So and the ending on the Jets, good practices, bad practices. I'm so rooting for Fields. Gets to the preseason, good preseason game, bad preseason game. I guess the question is, how does it all translate into wins and losses?
Do you smell the 6 wins from here, David?
I'm locked. Honestly, Jake, I'm locked in on 8 and 9.
8 and 9.
That's what I've been saying, Dave. I mean,
coaching, man. That's how that happens.
Don't be like Rob from Glenhead and say you smell 6 wins and it was a C- draft grade. Let's go 8 wins, baby.
Yeah, no, I'm a Aaron Glenn truther and intensity and I think detail and all that, to get rid of some of them dumb penalties can give you an extra 2 games.
Definitely. By the way, side note for anyone who's interested, the Jets claimed defensive back Mario Goodrich off waivers from the Giants and waived safety Jalen Simpson. So a move in the secondary for the Jets.
David, your thoughts?
Well, this is why I rely. No. This is why I rely on you experts, because I need you to explain these players and the capabilities and all that, and the moves and everything, because I'm a great Jet fan, but I need to rely on you experts to explain everything.
That's why we're here, David. Appreciate the kind words.
Well, David, you keep doing your thing, all right? We got our eyes on you.
Thank you. I got my eye on you guys.
I got
That's what you call real metal.
Rejected. Sorry.
Thank you, Beast.
Iconic.
You ready to meet the great Green Gang? First time call from Green Gang. He just was at our event. He's driving back from it right now. What's up, Green Gang?
Hey, what's going on, Jake? What's
Green
going
Gang,
on,
great
Connor?
to meet you, man.
Good to see you, man. How you been?
Hey, man, it was a privilege to meet you in person, Jake. My first time at a meetup, and I was so nervous just to meet everyone. And I want a big shout out to Big Fella and his son, Little Big Fella. I know he's going to do things out in Tennessee. Much love to him. You know, just having me going around and just introducing me to everybody. And meeting Nate and Tom Ace and Snowball for the first time. So it was really cool for me to be there. And I just want to thank everybody. Just just welcome me with open arms.
Well, you're a great dude, and I can't believe you made the trip from Baltimore, man. So it's the least we can,
Yeah, I had
do,
to be
man.
there, man.
I love it. Love it.
So good times. Get on the road. I don't want to be on here. It's going to be dangerous.
You're good, Green Gang. I appreciate you, man. Great to meet you in person. Thanks again for all the support. Green Gang became a Jet fan because he loved the 98 Jets. He loved Vinny Testaverde. That he said that the only non-Jets jersey he ever bought was the Vinny Testaverde Ravens jersey. So just awesome. We had people come from all over the place. So grateful for this community, man. I mean, once again, this is a football team that has the longest playoff drought in professional sports, and we all love them, and we continue to support them. And this community is unreal, man. So
definitely,
we're owed a good season. Connor Long has never even seen what a winning season looks like since he's been a fan.
I haven't seen an 8-win season, Jake.
Terrible.
A winning season here.
Terrible. Hit the like button if you haven't. Big shout out to everyone who's tuned in to our show today. Once again, we're going to be back on Monday with our raffle. We'll have our usual 2 shows a day. I am going to be on ESPN New York tomorrow from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. Nick Faria will be among my guests. I already told Nick I want to do a spot with him to talk about the latest with the Jets. So we have that.
Comments convincing enough on the show as he plead for guest spot? I'm just playing.
Yes, his begging works. I'm going to have him on at the coveted 8 a.m. time. No, I'm just kidding. But I'm going to have him on between 8 and noon tomorrow. Cam writes in, nice meeting you today, Jake. Thanks for the magnet. Cam, great to meet you. Thanks for saying hello. Shout out to Cam. I think I'm saying it right. Great. K-A-M. Cam.
Can't be any other pronunciation. So you're there, Jake.
Michael says, Connor, I saw the Jets win the Super Bowl.
More power to you, Michael. The glory days.
Purple Belt Mike says, wish I was there today. Awesome job all around, especially to Chef Kev. Chef Kevin is the man. What a great dude.
Oh, yeah.
And big thank you to not even just Chef Kevin, but everyone at Cloverleaf was so welcome, and the wait staff. I met the owner, met the all the chefs came around to say hello. So really cool.
Certainly.
I think we might have a Rumble brewing here, and I was going to get out of here and end the show. KFP, by the way, goes, good to meet you today, Jake. I really think you're great. Thank you, KFP. Very kind of you. Let's see. KFP wrote in, let's rumble fatty. Now, look, I'm not going to tell Beast Breaker that he shouldn't rumble with KFP. If Beast wants him, then you know what?
Get him.
Fine.
FP, I got a warning for you. You don't want to go in my backyard, sonny boy. This is my yard, my house. I'm the Undertaker, and you're the bitch.
It's your attic, Beast.
My hole and learn to listen. Because boy, I've humped these yards more bigger than you, and you couldn't lace my boots, carry my bags, or even my jockstrap. Because you're not qualified for this job. So just remember this, buddy boy. Before you came out of your mama's womb, I was whipping the ass and kicking them in full force before you were even born. So, sonny boy, do one of 2 things. 1, shut your mouth when I talk, and 2, kneel before your master. Because I'm the master and you're the bitch.
Also,
remember that, sonny.
To help your case, Beast, I don't think KFP was actually there today. So I don't. I think he's.
Good. Get him out of here. Get him out of here.
But he's in the chat.
He's just a basement little warrior playing Fortnite and being a loser. He
Now,
ain't worth
Beast,
my
to play devil's advocate, what would you say to someone who would say you're just an addict?
I was about to say that.
It's not even this ain't no attic, my friend. This is global studio headquarters, built by the best. And hey, when you see the best, you get the best. Why? Because right here, I've done it all. So until you get your balls reevaluated, getting back in line like everybody else and take a ticket.
What have you done specifically in this example that you would like to showcase?
For almost 20-some years, I have done it all. Football, basketball, baseball, field hockey, mini golf.
Field
what
hockey.
What does that mean?
Red,
right.
sunny,
But what does that
music,
mean when
turn
you
it
say
off.
you've done it all and then you reference field hockey and mini? Like you played those sports?
Music.
Right.
Wrestling,
I've
travel,
done all these
being
things
wrestling,
too. I've listened to
being
music.
one of the best guys in the world.
I've mini golfed. I played field hockey. I don't actually, maybe not, but like I don't quite understand.
Some of the other greats. Rhino, Raven, Shane Douglas.
KFP just said you wizard. Are you a wizard, Beast?
Until you get your
Are
balls
you a wizard?
KFP, you can kiss my big ass because you're not qualified. And if I'm Dusty Rhodes, I can kick your ass all over the place. And if I got a cowboy hat on, I'll whip you like a dog.
Hey, Beast, can you give us a little Justin Fields to Garrett Wilson so I can get out of here and live my day?
Hey, you want to fly?
Hey, you got to move your mic. That's not even plugged into your.
Shout out, big boy. Woo!
Hey, move your mic. We can't see you. Your mic is blocking your view.
Turn up the signal.
Oh
ready.
God! Oh my God!
Offense line, prepare, ready for fire.
Hey, where's the zucchini? We need to simulate a football. Beast, where's the zucchini?
We need to win.
Where's the zucchini, Beast? There it is. I just like how he just keeps that handy.
Like a prop. Oh, who's?
Go! Blue! Get right, blue 23! Set 318! Set that! Touchdown, baby! Woohoo! Yeehaw! We're on Cowboy, boys! Woohoo! Ha ha!
Spike that thing, Beast. Spike it. Spike the football.
No, that was the big.
Who are you talking to there? Is that your mom?
Yeah, who is it? What businessman is entering the global studio headquarters?
Who is that, Beast? Tell us.
Bullet.
Educate us on who he be. Beast? Beast? Are you out of breath? Beast?
You good, Beast?
I'll be all right. I'm just a little tired. That took a wind. That knocked the wind right out of my sails. I feel good.
Do you?
KFP, next time. See this? Feel? Bang!
Hey, Beast. This was sent to me by a spy in your attic. Who is this undisclosed lady here that you're talking to?
And it's associates.
Who is this associate of yours?
That's my secretary. Don't worry about it.
You have a secretary now. Why is this the first? This person kind of looks like you. Is this your mom?
Secretary. Now, I was also going to ask, whatever happened to my Justin Fields jersey?
What do you mean? What do you mean? What happened to it?
Yeah, because FP was going to give me one a couple weeks back, and I'm going, interesting.
Don't change the topic on me. Who is this lovely lady next to you?
I'm not going to ask this question. I'm done for today. I'm going to go take a rest, and I'm going to put this up.
Since when do you have a secretary? What does this secretary do for you? What business? I
It's
thought you were
business.
retired.
Money.
But I thought you were retired.
I am retired. It's just secretaries got to have to earn their keeps as well.
Who's trying to enter the attic there?
Yeah. Who'd you give clearance to the global studio headquarters?
This is my headquarters.
No, yeah, but who you allowed someone in your headquarters? There's photo evidence of this.
People came at the wrong time. Well,
You're not normally you deny the photos I show you. This one looks
you
real.
stop. Just look. I'm very tired. I've had a long day. I'm very pooped. My legs are hurting. I got pain on my heels. They're bugging the piss out of me. I just want to relax.
What does that have to do with explaining
What
who
does that
the
got to do?
secretary is?
I don't want to hear it right now. That's enough.
Why don't you just explain it and then you won't have to hear it? We'll move on to another topic.
Please, we'll just move on then. Please.
I believe this is your mom.
So, what does everybody give a rat's ass about it for?
I don't think it matters, but why don't you just say, yes,
Why do
that's
I
my
really
mom?
care?
Just say she was visiting my global studio headquarters.
Boy, I don't believe it.
You don't have to say she's your secretary. You can just say, yeah, that's my mom. And then we all would have moved on. But now we have questions. Oh, he's gone.
Now I'm done. Now I'm done yelling and screaming because this is getting too much.
Was your mom just visiting, or is your attic actually her home?
This is my headquarters. This is my headquarters.
Rick Kent writes in, Beast alienates from being the toughest guy in the world to whining about how much pain he's in.
Yeah, well, I got enough on my heels. I got broken heels in the back.
Who is the lovely lady, Beast? Confirm this is your mom.
No, I'm not gonna even. You know what?
Is this your mother?
Oh, wow.
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 I think we got our answer, folks.
It's Beast Mom. It's process of elimination.
They look too similar for there not to be some sort of genetic connection here.
Yes. And perhaps Mama Beast was a little bit worried when she heard Beast doing a cadence up in the attic. So perhaps maybe that's why she tried opening the door and was denied entry into the global studio headquarters.
Mama Beast. Unbelievable. What a turn of events. Beast, shout out to you. Connor, you did a great job. Thank you for your assistance getting the show on the air as I was commuting back from Cloverleaf Tavern. You're the man. Great job. Great to see you and Chris Grasso at training camp today. You guys saw one of the worst practices ever, and you lived to tell the tale, so well done.
Jake, you're the best. Asmaniacs, appreciate it, Jake. Thank you for the kind words as always. Smash the like, hit subscribe for my guy, Jake. I'm on tonight, 9:30. Hopefully,
You're on tonight?
Oh, yeah.
Saturday night in the summer, go. I don't know. What do 14-year-olds do? Go do that. Go play
I've
video
had
games.
enough of that. Time to talk Jets, folks.
The Jet talk never stops. I love it. Great job, Connor. I'll be tuned in.
Thank you. Appreciate you all. See you guys later. Jet up. See you, Jake.
Ladies and gentlemen, Connor Long. Excellent job by Connor. He does a tremendous job. And if you guys don't subscribe to Connor, you should. Because one day, he's going to take all our jobs. And he'll be the only Jet YouTuber doing anything. So just be prepared for that. It could be about 10 years from that, so be ready. Hit the like button if you haven't. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. 4 hours of radio for me. I did Beast. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to put that one up. My StreamYard's glitching. 4 hours of radio tomorrow, 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. And then I'm in for Michael K. Monday through Thursday this week from 1 to 3. So if you're not sick of me for 2 hours a day, twice a day on YouTube, what's another 2 hours on radio this upcoming week? But 4 hours specifically tomorrow from 8 to noon. Download that ESPN New York app if you haven't. Speaking of radio, if you like audio, this show's available as a podcast. Just search Jake Asman Show, and you will be able to listen back to anything you might have missed in audio form. And our presenting sponsor, if you guys missed the big announcement, FanDuel Sportsbook is joining us for the NFL season. So they're my go-to sportsbook. So shout out to FanDuel. And, of course, bet with them because they have any bet you could possibly imagine. FanDuel is the best sportsbook for anything football, anything baseball, hockey, UFC, boxing, name it. They got odds on it. Shout out to FanDuel for being our new presenting sponsor. All right, I've talked enough. Again, thank you to Chef Kevin. Thank you to the Cloverleaf Tavern. Thank you to the Asmaniacs for making today's event so special. Check the Discord for all the photos for anyone who has FOMO and wants to see more. To anyone who was not there, the next big event is coming to T-Squared 2 weeks from tonight for the Jets-Giants preseason game. So I'm looking forward to that. JETS, 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 Jets. I'll talk to you guys soon. And, of course, thanks again to everyone who came out to today's awesome Asmaniac event at the Cloverleaf Tavern. Go Jets. Our first watch party of the year, the Jets and the Giants. We're headed back to T-Squared Social August 16th. It is a 7 p.m. kickoff. 6:30, the party will start. Tickets are just $18. It includes one Friday beer, one green tea shot, and a raffle ticket. We'll do a Jets merch and Jets ticket raffle at halftime of the game. When you get a ticket, you get 5 tickets in our weekly raffle whenever you do it. So lock in your spot. The more people that buy tickets, the more revenue we have to make the raffle at halftime as epic as possible. August 16th. Let's go, baby. Jets, Giants. Jets backups versus Jackson Dart. What's better than that?
Here's the deal. Just got no chance unless you click on that like button. And you gotta make sure you subscribe to the Jake Asman Show. You don't, you can get the f*** out. Now let's go, Asmaniacs. We're built for this shit.